Am I the jerk for refusing to adjust custody for my child's father to travel to see his new girlfriend? My 40-year-old female, kid's father, 45-year-old male, got a new girlfriend in Canada. We were together for 12 years and separated last year. It was a difficult time. We have shared custody of the kids, 8-year-old male and 10-year-old female, on a 2-3 days schedule when he works normal hours. Sometimes, he has to work irregular 12-hour shifts as he is a security guard. When that happens, I have to have the kids, and we then adapt the schedule so that he can have them more on his days off, keeping the 50-50% custody. The kids do not like to spend a lot of time without seeing one parent. We agreed that this plan was for the best, even though he was always more inclined to go for a 2-2-5-5 schedule. He now has a girlfriend who lives in Alberta, Canada. We are both from Oregon. He has been traveling up there every other month for 1 week at a time. She does not come. The kids stay with me when he is away. It was already a battle because he wanted his 78-year-old mother to take care of them while he was away so I would not see them more than he would. Now he wants to change the custody so that when he leaves, the kids can stay with me, but they have to stay with him for the same continuous amount of time when he gets back. I refuse. The kids have made it clear that they do not like spending long stretches of time without seeing me or their father. He chooses to leave, that is his thing, but I do not see why the kids would have to also be separated from me for a week, just for the sake of the 50-50. I am okay with having the kids with me when he is not there. They are my kids, and I enjoy my time with them, so I do not mind if I have them more. I feel like he should choose the moments when he visits her that have the least impact on his time with the kids, and that I should not have to be even more flexible because he chose a partner from a different country. On the other hand, I am wondering if the kids will be badly impacted by my decision in the long run, because it will mean that they be with me 18 days more per year until she comes to live in the United States. So, am I the antagonist for refusing to adjust the calendar? Note: I have a better income and I give him a $4,000 per year stipend, so he cannot be afraid that I will ask for money if I spend more time with the kids. You did nothing wrong here. He's choosing not to have the kids during his custody time and is prioritizing his wants over theirs. By not giving the kids time to acclimate to the separation, he's adding to their stress and making them cling harder to routine. His girlfriend could visit him, or they could do shorter visits until the kids are comfortable with longer separations. If he's not available on his assigned days, that's on him, and you should have the first right of care. Am I the jerk for refusing to be involved with my siblings' toxic partner and their new child? I, an 18-year-old female, have an older brother who is a 24-year-old male. We have been close for most of my life. We weren't best friends, but we rarely fought and usually had each other's backs. He started working at a retail store 2 years ago, where he met his now girlfriend Nancy, a fake name. He began dating her in February of last year. I didn't have strong opinions about her initially, but she quickly showed questionable behavior. My brother told me she was cheating on him just 2 weeks into their relationship, along with other issues. While I hate cheaters, I let my brother handle his relationship. This continued for about 5 months, revealing more red flags. Both my mom and I noticed bruises on him, and his personality changed significantly. Concerned, we contacted one of his best friends, who also worked with Nancy. He confirmed her abusive behavior, leaving us even more worried. I reached out to another friend, whose girlfriend, Sophia, was related to Nancy and had lived with her. Sophia and her mom confirmed Nancy's problematic nature, including stealing, home wrecking, and lying. I became increasingly worried about my brother's well-being. Despite my feelings, I pretended to be friendly with Nancy while starting a new school and getting to know my now boyfriend. Not long after, Nancy pressured my brother into moving out. She had been living on her own since she was 20 years old. She is now 22, with minimal parental involvement, so I don't entirely blame her for her behavior. 2 weeks after moving to our grandma's house, my brother visited and nervously revealed that Nancy was pregnant. The news shattered me. I cried uncontrollably, and my parents were also unhappy. We doubted the baby was his. From that point, I avoided Nancy entirely. On New Year's Eve, she texted me from a coworker's phone, accusing me of immaturity and saying she didn't want me near her baby. My brother confronted me, and I explained that she was destroying her last family connections. My parents sided with me and asked my brother to talk to her. I didn't respond to Nancy's text, to avoid giving her more ammunition against me. A few weeks later, my uncle invited my mom to his house. We arrived to find my brother Nancy, my uncle, and his wife, Anna, discussing a Facebook message where my mom had called Anna mean names because she called Nancy ugly. They sorted it out, but Nancy loudly repeated her accusations against me, calling me spoiled. I lost my temper and told her everything I thought of her. After that, my parents insisted I be nice to Nancy, but I refused. The baby was born on June 11th. My parents forced me to go to the hospital, but I didn't see the baby. When my brother and Nancy came to our house unannounced, they forced me to hold the baby. I barely looked at Nancy. Now my parents are pressuring me to be happy about the baby and spend time with Nancy and my brother. But I stand firm in not wanting to be involved. Am I the asshole? All in all, this is a mess. In my opinion, you have done nothing wrong here, but it's clear you're way too involved in this situation. It's worth trying to convince your brother to take a DNA test. Everyone seems caught up in the drama rather than focusing on genuine concern for your brother or nephew. Am I the jerk for not letting my family stay at my apartment because they can't respect my girlfriend's needs? My girlfriend, who is 21 years old, has severe PTSD. She has been in therapy for years and has really improved over the past few years. The one thing that hasn't improved is that nights are hard for her, and she needs very specific things to be able to fall asleep. She needs every window in the apartment to be closed and locked. Our bedroom door has to be locked. She checks the entire apartment 1 or 2 times before going to sleep to make sure everything is how she needs it. The light has to be on, and she needs a fan and a heated blanket. There can't be any loud noises. We don't have anything on the bed or where it can be expected to accidentally make a noise. We have sound dampening curtains outside our window because if there's any loud noise, she'll wake up and I'll have to check the apartment, closets, and everything and convince her that she's safe and can go back to bed. Even with all of this, she still has nights where she wakes up screaming or has nightmares so bad that she vomits. We stayed with my family a few months ago and it was horrible. I explained all of this to my mother and she assured me the doors and windows have locks. They can keep the windows closed at night while she's there. They'll make sure there's no loud noises at night. They have a fan she could use. It was horrible. None of the doors or windows locked. There was no fan. My sister was not quiet at night. They complained about the light so much that we turned it off. We stayed there for 2 nights, and she didn't sleep at all for either of those nights. She then had rough days because she wasn't sleeping. On the 3rd day, I ended up spending almost $1,000 on an Airbnb so she could sleep. They said I was being ridiculous and that she was exaggerating because there's no way she stayed up for 2 nights. The rest of the visit was okay since she was able to sleep, but they kept making comments about how ridiculous we were being for getting an Airbnb. Now they want to visit our city and stay in our apartment, but I said no because when we stayed with them, it was a disaster. I can't throw her off in her own home. They think we're being dramatic, and that if it's that big of a deal, she can stay with her sister while they're here. Our apartment is on her sister's property, and her sister built it specifically so she would be able to move out while still having someone right there when she needs help. I refused to kick her out so they could stay. Now they're calling us ungrateful, saying my girlfriend hates them and that I'm taking her side. Am I the asshole? You are not in the wrong here. Your family thinks your girlfriend should vacate her home for their vacation, which is incredibly entitled and dismissive of her mental health needs. Kudos for standing your ground and supporting your girlfriend. They clearly aren't making any effort to understand, and they can pay for somewhere else to stay. Am I the jerk for not inviting my Fsil to be in my bridal party, even though we're not close, but she thinks we are? I, a 30-year-old female, and my fiancé, a 31-year-old male, will be getting married next year. My future sister-in-law, a 37-year-old female, asked me to be her bridesmaid when she was getting married. To be very honest, I did not want to do it as I am extremely introverted and did not know any of her bridal party. However, I said yes for my fiancé, and because I felt like I had to say yes. I helped with the bachelorette party and paid for the basic bridesmaids things. We are cordial and chat when we see each other or during family gatherings. Outside of that, we do not talk or hang out. I have a sister and a small close-knit friend group that I have known since I was in middle school, and I always knew they would be my bridesmaids. My sister is not part of the party simply because she did not want to be, and I have no issue with it. I never considered asking my future sister-in-law but was okay with being part of hers. I had also asked my fiancé if he wanted me to ask his sister and if it would be a problem if I did not. He said he did not care, and it was up to me. We are not that close, and I was honestly surprised when she asked me to be part of her party. I have 4 bridesmaids while my fiancé has 5 groomsmen. I do not really care about the evenness as I asked people who I feel are my best friends. I did not want to add a 5th person randomly for the sake of evenness. My fiancé let me know that my future sister-in-law was upset and refusing to attend our wedding because I did not ask her to be a bridesmaid. She said a few things about how she is questioning my character and how she was thoughtful of me and asked me to be part of her party. She also said she would be embarrassed to attend when she was not part of the party. I did not think it would matter this much to her, but at the same time, I do not feel like I should be obligated to ask her. Am I the asshole? You are not the jerk, and your fiancé needs to handle his family without throwing you under the bus. If he wants her in the wedding, he can have her on his side. This is not your problem, and she has no right to expect this of you or try to emotionally manipulate you by saying she sees you differently now. Ultimately, it's your decision, and you're not obligated to include someone just to appease others. Am I the jerk for giving my child a name that honors my late parent? My wife and I welcomed a son into the world 11 days ago, and we chose a name for him early in the pregnancy. We actually had a name for a boy and a girl, both of them a nod to my late mother, who died when I was 7. My son's name has caused some tension with my blended family, mostly with my stepmother and my step and half siblings, who all feel like I chose the name to spite my stepmother. She married my father when I was 11 and was the primary caregiver in the home. The fact that she offered to adopt me 6 times, and I said no added to their viewing this as an insult. Her offers to adopt me came early in the marriage, and then when I turned 18 and was away for college. She told me I might like to have someone always readily available who could drop everything and come to me if I needed medical attention. She always took it hard when I said no. I also never felt close to her despite her many efforts to fill the role of a mother for me. Nobody other than my mom ever could fill that role though, and that was something we never saw eye to eye on. Her children, including the ones with my father, would see this and would grow angry that I turned her down. Now that I have a son who has a male form of my mom's name, they feel like I did this with the intention of saying I hate you to my stepmother. They feel like any other honor would have been fine or another variant for a daughter, but the fact I gave it to my son bothers them so much. I was told my actions were deliberately cruel and intended to humiliate my stepmother. They said even a middle name to honor my mom wouldn't be as hurtful, but the choice tells the world I don't consider her good enough to be my mom. The truth is, I never saw her as my mom and I don't consider her my parent either. I always respected her efforts to be there for me, to a point at least, and I know my father basically dumped me on her when they got married, and she was the only parent around the house for the most part. But I still never wanted the relationship she tried to have with me. I never intended the name to be a snub either. We just wanted to honor my mom and loved the name. I don't even see my stepmother or step and half siblings much except for twice a year at best, and once a year more typically. This was the exception because my son was born. Am I the asshole? You are not the jerk. They're mistakenly ascribing malevolence and intentional insult to a simple act of indifference. You have no duty to your stepmother beyond being civil, and the name choices have nothing to do with anyone except wanting a personal connection. Let your dad handle any drama and go about your business. Congrats on your tiny human. Am I the jerk for accepting money from my grandparents when they didn't give the same to my half-siblings, their other grandkids? I'm a 17-year-old male and have a super messy family background. My dad has an on and off relationship with my mom and his twice ex-wife. He has only me with my mom, but he has 3 kids with his twice ex-wife, who he is living with again. My mom and the ex-wife keep taking him back. During a breakup with both of them, my dad was with someone else and has a kid with her who isn't around. I think my dad, the ex-wife, and my mom like to ignore the fact that dad made another kid. My half-siblings don't know about this other half-sibling. My dad could have more kids too. I'm not sure, but it's likely given his back-and-forth relationships. I don't believe it's only my mom or his twice ex-wife he cheats with. I don't care if he has more kids, which might sound bad because we'd technically be related, but I don't see that as a chance to be a family. The ones I'm supposedly family with I'm not at all close to, and we hate each other's guts. They hate me for my mom being around, and I hate them because they go from wanting me to not exist to expecting me to worship the ground their mom walks on. They also complain that I don't have the same rules or expectations they do. My dad knows I don't respect him, so he told me to go away. Basically, he makes me go to his house to avoid child support, but I get to do my own thing. I don't have a good relationship with my mom either, because I hate that she puts dad before me. The people I have the best relationship with are both sets of my grandparents. My mom's parents I spend more time with because they live closer. My dad's parents are great too. My dad's parents gave me a huge money gift for my future. They told me they had put aside money since I was born, hoping it would make my transition to adult life better. I put it straight in my bank account that neither parent can access. This gift was controversial because they didn't do the same for my half-siblings. My dad, his twice ex-wife, and my half-siblings said I should have rejected the money if it wasn't equal. They said I should be sharing it with them if I accepted it. I told them it wasn't my problem and they don't matter to me, so they can all go to hell. My grandparents defended me when they were made aware of what was being said. I was told I should be doing a better job as the oldest by 5 months. Am I the asshole? I think you were not in the wrong here. It was a gift from your grandparents, and they have the right to give their money to whoever they want. Maybe your half-siblings are just jealous because they found out you got more than them. Keep the money, thank your grandparents sincerely, and use it to make the best of your life. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.